Okay, so Avery, introduce us, please.
No, I literally just said that I'm not going to do an introduction.
And here we are. All right. All right. So since Avery refuses,
No, I'm literally not going to put in an introduction if you say one.
All right.
It's going to fade from black to us talking about it already.
So let's talk a little bit about this car accident.
So we got in a car accident.
That's something that we did.
So you're down here for the summer.
Is that what I'm doing?
I feel like we're still I don't want this to be like we're recording a podcast. I just want it to be like we're talking. But I feel like even what we're doing right now, we're like explaining shit that we already know. Right. We're like, okay, so we got in a car wreck yesterday.
Delicious fat echo chamber right here. Just car crash. Look at us smashing masculinity standards and drinking Smirnoff Ices on
your
podcast. Anyway, so I decided to come down to Pueblo, and I got a really good welcoming gift from the city of Pueblo. Let me tell you.
Well, we need to talk about your journey here a little bit too.
I mean, what about my journey here?
Okay, so yesterday a fucking crazy weather storm hit Colorado.
Luckily, my bowel movements were good.
Yeah, that was not the type of storm that was happening.
No,
you're right.
We had the right storm that time.
Yeah, dude. It was actually fucking crazy, though.
Yeah.
Like, it literally came out of nowhere, and now it's just gone.
It was like, so essentially what happened is we got on a lesser highway to Colorado's main highway.
Well, first you had like a really treacherous fucking journey here.
Right. So to begin with, it was already just a disgusting drive.
You were running. So you... Dude, I just feel like this is fucking scripted right now.
It does.
I feel like we're not sitting here talking about this.
Right. I mean, it's just like I was
literally here with my landlord and called you.
Right.
And you literally answered the phone.
I was in the middle.
You were yelling. You were like, "Hello!"
I was busy fucking colonizing the lake on the highway. My landlord's standing
right next to me. I'm like, "Yo, dude, where are you?" And like before I can even finish the sentence, you're like, "Dude, I can't talk on the phone right now. I'll call you back."
Okay, I was going to send it and go through with that phone call because we had to meet his landlord. I guess we
he had to meet my landlord so that he could sign a contract because he's living with me this summer.
Uh-huh.
And I was literally standing here with my landlord. It was he was here like 15 minutes early. So we were just like talking about other stuff and like literally talking about the weather, like literally the smallest talk it can get. But and then he was like, it almost seemed like he didn't even know you were coming, which was kind of weird.
Right.
But I was just like, oh yeah, he's like running late, and he's like, oh yeah, I don't really think we've talked about this Christian situation. I'm like, yeah, we have. Like what? Anyway,
we definitely had.
Let me call him and see where he is. It said, and I was like, your Google Maps said you were here at like 5:06, and it was like literally 5.
Yeah.
And he acted like he didn't want to stay here for 6 minutes, but
yeah.
And then I literally called you, and then that happened, and then you called me back like 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I almost just died.
I mean, it was... So what had happened is when you called, I was initially fine, but then I was going around a curve, and Lake Superior came out of nowhere, and I hydroplaned.
I think you took a weird route.
We're not in Michigan, man. We're pretty far from that.
Yeah.
We got puddles here. But, no, so anyway, I ended up making it back. I did survive. I mean, I didn't Jon Snow this shit.
We
still
both
alive,
watched you run up to the house. You signed the contract. Everything was good.
I didn't run. It was a hasty walk.
I
ran. It was
we got all your stuff inside, and then we were like, okay, let's go to Walmart so that Christian you can get some like groceries and stuff. So we were literally on our way to Walmart, which like, dude, if we're being real, we shouldn't have been driving. It was absolute torrential downpour.
I mean, there's this inherent assumption when you get into a vehicle that when a drop of rain is on the ground, not everyone drives like a tampon.
Okay, that's fair.
But that sadly was not the case.
So we leave my house.
We did do that.
Literally in the car for maybe, like honestly speaking, maybe 3 minutes.
Probably in total a good 4 minutes.
We took
3 minutes, 37
4
seconds
turns from my house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like small streets.
Yeah.
And we took all the turns. And
the street we did crash on was big. It's like
it's a highway.
6-laner, yeah.
Yeah, it's a highway. And so we were like, we like got turned onto the highway, onto the merge lane, and we were just going to stay there because it turned into a right turn lane.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I feel like we should both just like explain our sides of how it happened.
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and explain how I felt what happened, and I'll just let Avery completely explain, his...
I'll probably just cut this one out.
Thank you.
All of a sudden, it just cuts to mine.
So anywho, from my point of view, because I was driving, because we had decided to get in my car, because you even offered your whip, and we just...
I did. I was like, who's driving? And you're like, let's take my car.
Everything would have been different, man. Anyway.
Everything would have been.
So we get in the car, and out of nowhere, Lake Huron's on the highway now. And so we get into the turn lane, and essentially what I saw happen was a guy turns, he didn't turn, but he stopped right in front of me in the turn lane.
Well, yeah, but I think he was trying to merge into like a regular lane.
So what ended up happening was this fucking donut decided that he didn't want to go back into the left lane until it became a solid white line, at which point everyone was stopped. But that's okay. This guy doesn't...
it was like by a stoplight.
Right, that's okay.
It was a stoplight and it was red, so there was a line of cars.
Right. This guy didn't need consent. He was going into the lane. He was trying to get back where he needed to go. So I stopped in time because I myself
came to a full stop.
Yes.
We had to slam on the brakes and come to a full stop.
This is really? Anywho, so I am trying to stop because I also drive like a bruised banana and try to give myself like 2-3 car spaces. And so I ended up having plenty of time to stop. Well, fucking Santa Claus behind me, and for the purpose of the story, MacGruber's behind us. And so anyway, I just, what ended up happening is by the time I had stopped, there was this momentary like instance of I don't know what's happening. I'm in limbo. Like it's normal, and then all of a sudden I'm jerked forward and I just like knock my nose on the steering wheel, and I was like, what the like?
But you literally didn't even know if you hit your nose. You're like, did I hit my nose? My nose hurts.
No, but that's the thing. It's like we looked at each other, and I've never seen two men so exempt of emotion.
The gears were turning in my head.
Right?
Bro.
Yes.
You said you literally just like turned over, and I was just like.
Dude, my Intel Pentium was using the last transistor to make that.
My RAM was at full capacity, dude. I was running
no random access
12
memory left.
Chrome tabs.
Oh God, you need a supercomputer for that.
Yeah, dude, I was literally just like, the gears were turning. I was like, what just happened? Like, I literally thought you did something stupid.
Well, because
like I thought you like slammed on the brakes.
Thank you for that.
Like
of course.
Well, I mean, I always assume you do something stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, if I'm sober, I'm usually somewhat responsible. So
somewhat though. There's still that question mark. Yeah, and then we both like realized. I feel like it clicked at the same point. Like, oh, we got rear-ended.
And it was just that momentary lapse. Like I looked and I looked over to you. And you were so emotionless, and I swear to God it started on that downhill spiral. Right when I look over to Avery.
Should we reenact it?
Yes, all right, let's...
Okay.
All right, here we go. So let's say we're in Europe right now. We're driving down the road.
We're in Europe.
All right, so I'm right here, right?
Yeah.
And Avery's right there. All right, let's go. Let's start 30 seconds before the crash.
Okay, so we're just like driving along. Well, first of all, it was like super loud, so we were like, yo, dude, what are you going to get at Walmart?
Like that. Excuse me.
I was like that, bro. What was that?
All right, so I had one of these little things going.
No, you were at 10 and 2. You were at 10 and 2. For all intents and purposes.
If I knew the hands of a clock, that would help me vastly right now. Anyway, so let's drive down the road. We're getting hit in 5 seconds.
Okay, all right. I feel like you should do a countdown so we react at the same time. This is the stupidest.
Here's the thing. We don't have to do a countdown. This fucker didn't react is what happened.
Well, no, I meant like...
And let me just say, that started the PTSD.
We're going to like go forward like we got hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, give us a countdown. Give us a countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. Anywho, so thanks to that accurate representation, I smacked the shit out of my top nose. And so Avery looks like this. He's just completely exempt from emotion. And I just look over at him, and I'm telling you, the post-traumatic stress disorder started when I look at this fucking ghost over here. And he's just like, he's just chilling there. He's just like, it was as if he saw the deity in Bird Box.
I was literally just...
That's what I liken it to. He saw Bird Box. And so... Which would have made sense. I guess for a moment, I could have really gone with the fact that was Bird Box. Because if we got nailed in the back...
We're not going to start talking about Bird Box, are we?
We're not going to do that. All right. So Sandra Bullock, however.
Okay, we're not talking about Bird Box, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, dude. Well, this was our review stream. Anyways, so that's essentially my story. And then after that, the guy comes up. He came to my side of the window, and he was like, yo, are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, dude, I think so.
Dude, we literally,
and then we asked him,
I'm so surprised that we formed sentences in that moment.
Did we, though? Because, that guy wouldn't have noticed.
I don't know if I did, honestly. I think I said words, but I don't know that it made a sentence.
So you Michael Scotted it.
Yeah, basically.
It happens.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. But anywho, so we end up this guy, freaking Santa Claus, comes up, MacGruber, whatever you want to call him. He's pretty intent on figuring out if we're okay, because that was his first thing. We
stayed in the car because it was raining super hard.
Yeah, I was like,
so we literally both just sat in the car, and this man got out of his car. By the time he got to our car, he was parked right behind us. By the time he got to our car, he was absolutely soaked.
When you get...
Oh, dude, here's the thing, though. He came up, and he was like, is everybody okay in this car or whatever? And you were like, yeah, are you okay, man? And then I don't even know what he said, but then he was like, some asshole hit me and then took off.
Yeah, because I was like, initially, I'm not getting out of this fucking car. I just got unconsensually pounded in the back.
Facts.
So, I'm not going to get out of this car also become a wet towel.
No, yeah, he was a super nice guy.
Yeah, and this other guy, the fine gentleman that rear-ended the two of us, got away.
Yeah, so he hit the guy behind us. The guy behind us slammed into us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll pop a picture of the damage up on the screen because it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad.
It's not ideal.
It was not an ideal situation.
I've seen more.
And then we literally had to wait nearly an hour for a cop to show up.
Yeah, that was perhaps the worst part, because once he went back to his vehicle, that was the end of our interactions between us and them, because this was torrential.
Well, no, he came back one more time and said that he called the cops.
Okay,
and we're just waiting.
But it was this was torrential downpour, and I could tell me and Avery were not feeling good after the crash.
We were just
and we got hit in the back.
We just had adrenaline, bro.
And we've had neck stiffness and stuff. That guy got absolutely pounded. He did not like what happened to him. Yeah.
Their airbags.
Yeah, their airbags deployed. And so they ended up needing the ambulance.
Yeah,
and then the ambulance got there. And me and Avery at this point were like, there's a slight chance we should go in, but fuck that. I feel
fine today.
I feel fine today. Other than my neck, I feel fine.
Well, that's from things that happen later.
Well, got it. I think I just stuck a tooth into the
nice.
microphone.
Just a little tooth hit on the new mics. New mics.
So, anywho, so that was a really eventful story that we tried to beef up with some.
Dude, I realized in the middle of that,
not cinematic,
that you're still really good at telling stories. I
still got it.
How many stories you've told?
I've told too many stories in my time.
Your mic has heard some shit.
It's
that little snowball, dude.
It's definitely heard some fuck shit.
It's damaged.
It knows my porn taste.
It's damaged,
yes. Bro. But anywho,
we all do.
Oh yeah, so
true.
What is it?
You have 26K subs to show for it. So what?
No. I was asking about my porn taste.
Porn taste?
Yeah. What are they? What do I strike you as? This is a couch conversation,
bro. I don't know. We're best friends. What do you mean? What I strike you as?
As a porn guy.
As a porn guy?
It's not what you'd expect.
I thought you said poor taste.
No, poor taste.
Damn, we're going there.
It's a couch talk.
We went straight from talking about how we could have died to now your porn taste. I feel like you're into some weird shit.
Incorrect. Now, I will preface this with I usually maybe watch it a few times a month. And that's the honest truth.
I'm going to dub over that with day. A few times a day.
Yeah, please don't do that. Week.
I'm just going to replace that with female noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so weak. So, Avery, you absolutely strike me as a heterosexual zombie midget porn kind of guy.
Dude, how did you know? Have you been on my hard drive?
It just reminds me of this friend we had as kids with great taste in pornography.
Oh. Oof. That's such an oof.
That's such an oof. No,
I don't think we need to start talking about this. This is just so curveball.
No.
To what we were talking
Anyway,
about.
so for me, as far as
let's talk about like how do you feel like now, like looking back, like reflecting on the whole situation. How do you feel about it?
I feel like it could happen again, and there's nothing I can do about it. So.
Yeah, you don't suffer with anxiety at all, dude. I don't know what those doctors are saying, dude.
No, but that's the thing. It's
You
like
just looked me in the eyes. Were like, it might happen again. Whoa, dude. Virgin Mike's over here. Okay, dude. Come on. You're not fucking Riley Reid. Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Have you seen that clip?
No, I haven't.
Oh, on Logan Paul's podcast, she put a mic in her mouth.
So tell me real quick. I mean, if we're gonna have a couch conversation in this day and age, how do we not talk about the Sacred Paul brothers?
We're not talking about that, bro.
Oh, then what are we talking about?
Now the show is literally about just one topic for 2030.
God.
And we're talking about the car accident. So your reflections on it. How do you feel?
Right, so extending my 5-minute attention span. I would say now it's just like it just sucks. You know, you already don't have confidence in the drivers around you, and so to further not have confidence, you know, makes it tough. And
I've definitely felt that. You haven't driven since, right? Yet. Well, you drove
you
drove last night.
Yeah, I drove last night, but no, not since then.
Okay.
And
Driving this morning, I was definitely like super aware.
Yeah, and maybe perhaps that's not a bad thing.
Still really crappy this morning. It was still like raining and the roads were all wet and stuff this morning. But
yeah. Everything is wet.
I don't think it's a bad thing,
me,
honestly. Yeah. It could potentially if it's too far. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah. Because, you know, I'm generally an anxious person.
Yeah, exactly.
And so...
but, like, it's definitely a good awakening of just, like, this can literally happen to anybody. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah. And it's a good lesson in... It's always good to be a defensive driver. You know what I mean? It's always good to be a defensive driver.
I just feel like it could have been so much worse. And
yeah,
like we're so blessed to be able to just walk away from it with I mean your car's fucked up, but
you know, and for
all
me,
things said and
like,
done, that's an item, that's an object.
Right, yeah.
And, you're not. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, being a poor college student, that's never a hit you want to take.
I know.
But you know, also
a literal hit you want to take.
I'd rather take a hit of other substances than on my car.
Like Jesus?
Yeah, well, I take a hit of Jesus every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, pass the Jesus?
Hey, dude, that could be
a skit.
Whoa, hold on, but we may have just pissed off some religious people because, you know, like do you pass around the Jesus?
Do you really think if there were any religious people watching at the beginning of this, do you think they're still watching?
Depends on how religious they are, honestly.
I think we lost them at the first F-bomb, which was probably like 30 seconds in. We definitely lost them at porn, if not.
Come to think of it, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come to think of it.
Anyway, so for the one demented viewer that's still here, how do you feel about it?
It's us
Avery?
watching it.
Yeah, this is us watching it. How are you doing? Like, I mean, what's your fallout?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly haven't really thought about it that much because I haven't really had much time to process it really. But I definitely I just feel really grateful that we're okay. And that we were literally able to drive to Walmart after that and walk.
Yeah.
Because it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the people behind us had it even worse than I did.
Yeah, I've also thought about them quite a bit. I really hope they're okay.
Yeah, that guy was so nice. I really hope that guy's okay. And we assume it was his wife in the car as well.
Yeah, he definitely had a passenger, but
I didn't even see who it was. Yeah.
Because we barely got out of the car.
Yeah, because we assumed it was his wife, but the poor guy, dude, he looked like he was going to break down.
Just honestly. Shout out to all of the emergency services, the first responders that were there. They were all super nice and just trying to help us make sure we were okay.
I do have a qualm with the police. The paramedics were excellent. They got there as soon as the call was made for them.
The cops just got there. It just took them forever.
Here was the issue I have with the cops. Number one, it was an hour long, and the fact that those people behind us were seriously injured is an issue.
And maybe he didn't tell them that. I don't know, but I just in that time also I just was like super like anxious,
and that makes
there,
it harder.
like
the cop
watching all these cars
calms
zoom past
everyone
us,
down.
bro.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because as soon as sirens
yeah.
are there, everybody else on the road is going to be way more cautious too, and people are like flying right by us.
Yeah,
dude.
and did you notice how the cop came up and he was super calm? Like they're trained for those situations.
Yeah, he was so nice and just immediately brought us down. Like,
and what was so wrong is at about the 40-minute mark, we saw a cop car drive straight past
we
us.
Absolutely did.
And
I still wonder if that's the I don't because okay, so we saw a cop pass us, and then we saw another same looking SUV pass us going the other way.
Exactly.
And I honestly think he might have turned around and been the guy that came.
Yeah,
I don't know,
and that's just like
I hope it was him
those
that turned
people
around.
behind us were hurt.
I think they were, yeah.
And that's where the issue arises. As a cop, if you see people hurting and need help, you've got to stop and come to them. Yeah. I don't care if there's a drug bust. These people's lives are more important.
As soon as the cops were there and knew that they needed paramedics, the ambulance was there so fast.
Yeah, and like I'm being a puss. We were fine, but those people behind us were not.
We still cared about those people because we were in it together.
And they needed an ambulance. They ended up going in one, and it's just like that's just. I don't know. I've always had qualms. You know, the thing I have to give to the cop, one, it's probably not his fault.
No.
And two, he was excellent. And
he really was. And his partner. His partner was really good too.
You know, like spending in the rain. He didn't want to.
He literally stood in the rain for like an hour.
Yeah. I mean, the guy. I give him props, and I'm nitpicking. Yeah. So, I would say that. You know.
Yeah.